India is rapidly emerging as a growing digital economy, driven by widespread adoption of digital services such as e-commerce, online education, and digital banking. With the increasing penetration of smartphones and the internet, the country is transitioning into a global digital hub. At the core of this transformation are data centers, which serve as the backbone of today's global digital economy. They power critical services like cloud computing, secure financial transactions, and seamless online experiences, becoming an indispensable part of the digital ecosystem. AdaniConneX is driving India's digital ambitions forward by becoming a trusted and sustainable digital infrastructure partner, helping position the nation as a global digital hub. AdaniConneX is 50-50 joint venture between the Adani Group and AdaniConneX that amalgamates the global expertise of AdaniConneX with the Adani Group's unparalleled capability in delivering large-scale infrastructure projects. AdaniConneX is poised to deliver world-class digital infrastructure by ensuring scalability, security, and efficiency, while adhering to global benchmarks in design and operations. We caught up with Jayakumar Janakaraj, CEO of AdaniConneX, who shed light on how AdaniConneX is playing a critical role in strengthening India's digital ecosystem and serving as a key pillar in the nation's growth story.
Hi JJ, thank you so much for talking to us. It's an absolute pleasure to meet you and interact with you. Let's start talking about the data center industry per se. It's an exciting space. There's so much of change coming about because of technologies like cloud, AI and other technologies. Your thoughts on the data center industry in India currently? And secondly, with AdaniConneX, how are you seeing shaping the future of the industry in India?
Yeah. No, thanks first of all for giving us this opportunity to interact. It's always amazing to sort of connect and talk. Let's put things in perspective, right? So let me take a step back. India is such a large economy, and India has things to its advantage. Like we are 17% of the world's population, right? And we have a very young population. We are sort of a growing economy, people wanting to do things differently. And technology is one place where it is helping us to leapfrog. So what it is showing to us is that India is in this cusp of adopting to the new wave of technology that is coming in. It's about the fundamental of creating the backbone for what the country needs for its security, for its prosperity, and for future generations. It's a very unique opportunity that we have got as a company. So we are absolutely happy and proud about it, that we've been given this great opportunity to put things right. So this brings in a wonderful dimension of how do we sort of bring in world-class infrastructure powered with, say, fantastic sustainable renewable energy to be able to sort of give to the world and give to India what India deserves.
I want to also take this opportunity to congratulate you and the AdaniConneX team, because you guys have won the Frost & Sullivan 2024 Company of the Year Award in the Asia Pacific region for data center infrastructure and operations. So fantastic milestone for you guys, especially since it's such a young company. Tell me a little bit about your AdaniConnex's deployment plans for India, and how are you going to be working towards achieving those?
India is going to need minimum, okay, and again these are estimates that keep changing all the time, say a 3 gigawatt kind of a data center requirement in India to power India's digital dreams, okay. And as AdaniConneX, we always say that hey, we have to have a good share of that infrastructure. So we are not saying we are the only player in town, but our target is to have a gigawatt of that 3 gigawatt kind of a requirement in India to establish that for India's growth. This 1 gigawatt for us comes in multiple areas, like we are sitting right now in the first location where we started, which is Chennai, where the submarine cables from overseas land, and this is a very unique opportunity from where we put our foundations on in the last 3 years, right? We've got centers in Hyderabad, Noida, Pune, Navi Mumbai, all sort of coming in. The way we see it is that India needs multiples of large data centers to be built. Okay, and these backbone, like I said in the previous question, needs to be built in strategic locations because it's a critical infrastructure that we are building. It needs to be having the access to customers, so they are in the right cloud regions so that the customers are going to use them. They are in the quality that the large companies who are our real first end customers, they are able to use that to deploy their solutions to people. So we need to sort of interconnect all this, and last but not the least, but the most important thing is to see how we power them up with the right energy source, which is reliable, gives them 5 nines of reliability, but also helps them to achieve their sustainability goals of net zero by the targets that the companies have taken, right? So we need to sort of intersect all this while we do our planning. So we see AdaniConneX right in that strategy for India, for our digital ambitions of a gigawatt. As a company, as AdaniConneX, it's going to be a real game changer for the company and the country at large.
100%, because this could be, look what you said earlier also, this would kind of propel the country's economy, the country's future, the country's young generation that are coming, is totally just change the trajectory of this. You mentioned earlier, and yes, we are here in Chennai 1, the data center. Can you tell us a little bit about this facility that we are seated in right now?
In the grand scheme of things, Chennai is obviously, like I said, is an important spoke in the whole wheel that we are building. But then, having said that, India's growth is multifaceted, right? Hyderabad is a very important region for our customers. Navi Mumbai is an excellent location. Pune is an excellent location. Noida, which is in the north. With this whole AI wave happening and technology shaping very differently, so that's how we are going to get interconnected into the world of data, and we are going to not be just processing what India needs. We'll have to becoming a processing hub as a country for what the world needs.
I want to now first talk to you first about AI, and then we'll move on to energy, because both are really important in data centers. So when we focus on AI, JJ, your thoughts on just how you are seeing the role of AI in the data center industry, and on a second point, how are you seeing AdaniConneX using AI to set better infrastructure for customers and in the industry?
The AI influence of industry and AI influence on real life, okay, is going to be significantly even larger than what the internet revolution has done and what technology has done to us so far. Just from the fact, if you see the adoption of the digital space, so what has digital wave done? Same thing AI is going to do 10x. So I think this is going to be another opportunity for us on how we learn from all these machines as they teach us, and how are we going to sort of tune those machines for the betterment of the world.
Last bit, JJ, I want to speak to you. You've spoken a lot about the energy angle, and that is absolutely critical. A little bit more in-depth perspective, if you could give us on that, and how are you seeing AdaniConneX is kind of one of the USPs, you could say, that with the energy angle?
See, this is a very important aspect, and especially as we entered the industry from outside in. We are a large infrastructure, energy conglomerate entering into data center business, because that was on the intersection of a lot of our businesses, which is energy infrastructure. We saw this as an energy as a solutions business, okay? And our objective was always that how innovative are we going to be in giving the customer a solution on this, rather than just focusing it on just as a real estate business or a REIT business. So that helped us to have a step in front of a lot of players who were focusing on the core infrastructure only and on the services attached to the infrastructure. We went one step ahead, wanting to sort of package this as whole aspect of energy as a solution. Right now, India is in a learning phase, but I can tell you 5 years from now, India will export talent to the world on how to build, run data centers, because I think that's one great thing that India does superbly well, is the talent creation for the global requirement.
Well, that's definitely going to be an exciting time. Before I let you go, JJ, last point. Today, you and I are sitting here. If 1 year from today, you and I are sitting and having another conversation, what do you think we would be talking about?
When such a large growth comes, there are issues on the supply chain, there are issues in the quality of the products you need, in the time you need, in the cost you need. So I'm sure there will be, what do you call, some learnings that would have come in the next 365 days that we would be reflecting on. The second thing is that I'm 100% sure we will have something new to talk, which we have not even thought about today. That's the fun about this industry. It brings in a curved ball of innovation from somewhere in the world, from some company in the world which we never thought about, right, or never even heard about. And we'll have to be running to sort of work that around, and like today, as we see, there are, what do you call, companies like NVIDIA which have become the most valuable company in the world. There might be something very different, right? And I'm sure that will bring in learnings for AdaniConneX and positioning AdaniConneX and therefore India in a very different platform.
Fantastic. So definitely exciting times ahead. So thank you so much, JJ, for talking to me, and we wish you all the very best, you and the entire AdaniConneX team, for the way ahead, and hope you achieve many, many milestones. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Data centers serve as the digital heartbeat of the ecosystem, supporting everything from business operations to data-driven innovations. However, constructing them presents several intricate challenges. These include selecting sites based on energy availability, planning robust networks to ensure high-speed connections for seamless data flow, and prioritizing sustainability to minimize the environmental impact of these large-scale operations. We spoke with Sanjay Bhutani, Chief Business Officer of AdaniConneX, to find out how the company is improving in operational efficiency while minimizing the environmental impact.
I'm now in conversation with Mr. Sanjay Bhutani. He's the Chief Business Officer at AdaniConneX. Hi Sanjay, thank you so much for talking to us here today. Let's start with our conversation about data centers. So, the concern is that people talk about how data centers are the backbone of the digital world. And of course, India's digital economy is expected to grow even faster than it is currently going. So, the importance of data centers there, what exactly is a data center?
Thank you for having me here. So, data centers are very simple house, which I'm sure all of us know, 3 BHK, 2 BHK or a row house. So data centers are a digital heartbeat of a whole ecosystem, which everyone creates. Likewise, AdaniConneX is creating. And these data centers are primarily built on premises of creating infrastructure, which people use word like cloud. So this is something which is wherever people say cloud, all of us look up and see where the cloud is. Cloud is not up, actually cloud is in data center. Yeah. So that is the beauty of a data center, and data center market per se is growing, I think, one of the fastest in Asia. And about 4 years back, we were almost about 500 megawatt, which has gone up to 1 gigawatt. And these data centers are very unique in nature. The way I said, it's a house, it's a technical house. While you're building data center, you have to have power coming in from 2 substations, which is very unique. And this data center is like kind of zero defect. Right. And data center cannot go down. It is basically a tier 3, tier 4 data center wherein redundancies are built basis what does the customer need. And of course, while people are putting data in our data centers, people are making sure from our side efforts are done. Operations are very critical here. And we are making sure operations are very tightly run in terms of efficiency. Safety is also one of the critical parameter here.
While a data center on the outside, let's be honest, it's a building, okay, and with stuff in it. But it's not as simple as setting up that building. So from you, I wanted to know now about what is the kind of planning that goes into the pre-planning before you make a data center, and then the execution, because like I said, on the face of it, it looks, hey, it's a building. Kya badi baat hai? Itni sari buildings to hai. But there is so much more that comes into it. So if you could shed some more light on that.
Master planning is a key in building a data center, and there are two types of data centers. One is a build to suit, the second is enterprise class. Both are equally important, both are growing at a much faster pace. When we started this business, we always said we are selling energy as a service, because anybody and everybody can make data center. At the same time, we have to have a social infrastructure available wherein resources can be available at a convenience for our customers and for us as well. While we are deploying data centers, it is important to have a right partnership in place. The partners who are building data center, they should understand what is the importance of EHS, what is the importance of a safety. That environment and culture has been built so beautifully in last 2 years. That's the reason we see many more people coming in an Indian story and believing in it. So the data center, while building it, we are keeping future in mind,
yes,
and making sure those data centers are built, and those are at least 10 years, 20 years are future proof. The second class, which is enterprise adoption, digital adoption has moved so well. So while BTS built to suit are anything between 5 megawatt to 100 megawatt, even enterprise are moving at the pace from 2 megawatt to 20 megawatt and 30 megawatt. Those guys are also become equivalent of BTS. While enterprise needs a holistic approach, they need end-to-end services from us. It's not only providing infrastructure as a service, it is, we need a PaaS, we need a SaaS, we need complete package should be available. Rather, data center in a box is a right word to say. It should be available so that customer is conveniently can come and pay per use basis. So we are creating an environment where and product services which helps customer to actually live at a peace and make sure they are comfortable and they are able to use these services pay per use basis, and they can enjoy, they can focus on their business. Of course, CIOs are in a driving seat today, and these guys are using data center and their whole IT system, and that helps them to be more productive. That actually generates more revenue for some of them, and making sure this digital adoption and helping with the data center becomes it's a good marriage to have, and making sure that helps them to move at a faster pace.
Just a little side question that I would like to ask you, Sanjay, is while India is growing fast, any learnings that you're seeing us taking from global standards? How are we placed, maybe if you would like to shed light in the global scenario, how are Indian data centers placed now?
That's after energy, that's also one of the favorite subject we are very passionate about. So while we started this business, we always decided a philosophy to follow, 40-30-30. And this philosophy is 40% people we hire from a lateral, 30% from colleges, and 30% from a business which are adjacent to data center. AdaniConneX employees is from colleges.
Right.
Some are from engineering college, some are graduate colleges. And these guys, when they join us, they straight go to outside of India, some Amsterdam, some Dublin, some Frankfurt. These guys go and get trained there. And they see a global environment in terms of design, build and operate. And we put them in training for a couple of months. And while they come back, they are able to see the Indian context and making sure those global good practices are being implemented.
Right.
Our guys who came in from college, they adopted artificial intelligence in our data center 2.5-3 years back. And you will be amazed to see many of our customers took the good practices of safety from India and from AdaniConneX to their global level.
Wow. Sanjay, one last question. The way ahead. Earlier in the conversation, you did speak about how you are, the growth that is happening, the data centers that are being built future ready. Sure. So, in a short synopsis, if you could tell us just the way ahead for AdaniConneX, what's the future runway for the company? We
actually decided our target has to be 1,000 megawatt by 2030. And the reason is very clear in terms of energy as a service continues to be our one of our key pillar. Ultimately, AI is becoming real. And while we started our journey with a certain elements of what goes into electrical, what goes into civil, we have moved up the value chain in terms of what we were procuring from our partners. How do we make sure we become partner, we help them to enhance it in a way so that we are making sure they are getting a support from our side, and they can enhance this to 10 to 100. And that's one way to collaborate and make sure we participate in their growth instead of we are buying from them. The second part is artificial intelligence requires the new way to do things in terms of the especially cooling part. From air to a liquid cool and immersion is very important. So our data center should be hybrid ready. We are seeing future is very, very bright in data center industry. At the same time, we are making sure all the areas what we covered so far becomes our strength area, and we further strengthen our strength areas, and making sure all the AI readiness is available in India.
Fantastic. Sanjay, it was an absolute pleasure talking to you and to learn more about AdaniConneX and the data center industry. Thank you so much for your time, and all our best wishes for the way ahead.
Thank you.
AdaniConneX, playing a pivotal role in powering India's digital transformation by providing the critical infrastructure needed to support the country's growing demand for data and connectivity. By integrating advanced technologies and energy-efficient practices, AdaniConneX is shaping the digital landscape of India for generations to come, establishing the nation as a leader in the digital economy while contributing to its sustainable growth and development.